Hello, I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to introduce you in this video to a plugin that you absolutely need to get your hands on if you haven't done already. It's the Loopcloud plugin. Now, I'm going to walk you through all of the features that I feel you need to know, and I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description below so you can skip to your favorite section. We're going to go through the AI technology, DAW integration, and also the ability to make your own music inside of Loopcloud before you actually come to purchasing your samples. Before I get into that though, I just want to remind you that the pre-sale for my complete Ableton Live course is on sale for a very limited time left, as we're about to go on to general sale. So if you want to check out my full breakdown extensive course of Ableton Live, the link to that is below in the description as well. Loopcloud is a directory of samples that you can download and use in your projects. It's linked with Loopmasters, so anything that you find on Loopmasters, chances are you're going to find it inside of Loopcloud. If you want to search for your samples, you come to the top here and you just start to type in characteristics and keywords of samples that you might want to download. So say we want to download a kick drum. I would just type in kick, and now it searches the system for kick drums. And we have all these different kick drums here that we can scroll down and audition. We also have the pack information, so where these kick drums have come from. If we click on this sample here, for example, and we can now press play. We can also press play with the space bar, so play and stop. If you want to go into this pack, you can go right click and show in pack. And now you can explore all of the sounds that exist inside this pack. So maybe you'll find something that works well with the sample that you've selected. You can audition the sounds by using your mouse and clicking on it and then clicking play, or you can press play and then just use your up and down arrows on your keyboard to go up and down in the menu list. If you look up the top here, you can see the tabs: Home, Library, Kick, and Flux. Flux is the pack that we're in. Kick is what we have searched in our original search. And we have Library, where all of our samples are stored. And we have Home, which is the home page that you're welcomed with when you open up Loopcloud. Now, if you wanted to add extra tags to this kick, you could type them in, or you could come to these drop-down menus here, and you have labels and tags that you could just click on and automatically insert. So we're on the kick tab and we're going into genres. Let's pick future pop. And you can see now that that tag has been added to our search terms. So we can see here now that these are our samples and we can audition through them in the list again. Now, at the moment, these samples are playing directly out of the Loopcloud plugin, but the most ingenious, I love this. This is one of my favorite features. This plugin can be connected to your DAW, mine is Ableton, and the samples can be played directly through into your project. Not only that, they can match your tempo and your key of your project. So you can hear whether they will fit your work. If you're auditioning with already existing material, you can hear whether it's going to fit with your project before you download it and commit to buying the sample. It's really brilliant. So come back into Loopcloud and you can see down at the bottom here you have Connect to DAW. If I click on it, you'll see that the plugin is not loaded. So we need to go into our DAW. So if we open up Ableton, we can see here that we have a MIDI channel. So it's a MIDI channel that you need to use, and you're going to drag and drop the Loopcloud plugin onto your MIDI channel. So let's go back into Loopcloud. We're going to open it up and come down to the bottom right and go to Connect to DAW. And you'll see now it says connected to Ableton Live. Not only that, if you look in this sample window now here, you'll see that the BPM matches the BPM of the project. It's 172. If we come back, we can see that the BPM is 172. So any sample that you play now in Loopcloud will be at the speed of your project. You also have the option to double the speed here, ×2, or half the speed. Now, it doesn't automatically detect the key or the pitch of your track, but you can manually enter that if you know what your key is, which you probably do. So you come over to the pitch and you go to the drop-down menu here and say it's in D, and now we have key lock. And now our samples are going to shift in pitch when we audition them in the Loopcloud plugin before we've bought them. You can see here that it's gone up by 5 semitones on the dial, and you can also adjust by octaves. So you could go down an octave or you could go up an octave. So you can transpose plus and minus 12. So say you don't like that +5, you want it to actually shift down to the key of D, but down in the scale, then you just click the octave button. Audio filters are another brilliant way to narrow down your search when you are looking for an exact sound in Loopcloud. Instead of trawling through all of the different samples, come over to the audio filters and you can see here that we can search key, tone, the length, the stereo width, the BPM, the loops, the one-shots, all of the different characteristics of your samples. You can really narrow down the search terms. Say my track is missing a bass or a low frequency sample. Instead of searching by searching in bass, I can just drag down on the slider here so that we have everything from 305 Hertz right down to 20 Hertz. Now I know I'm only going to see things in the lower frequencies, which gives me that option to add in those frequencies that are potentially missing in the project. If we go back and we select the key of D again, we can select minor because that's the track that we're working with. And if we want a short sample, we can also drag down on the slider here. We can make it completely mono by dragging down that slider, and you can really start to hone in the exact characteristics of your sounds. And we can see now we have 48 results. We can start to audition our sounds, knowing that they are corresponding to our search terms. Now, if we come over here to our library, we can see all of the samples and sounds that I've downloaded over time. They have their instrument, genre, label, format, content type, tags, and they'll have their BPMs and their keys in there as well. As you can see, we have 100 and C. So if I wanted to audition this, I press play. Now, I really like that sound. I've used it before in a project and I would like to use it again, but personally, I don't want to start recycling and reusing the same sounds over and over again because then my music's going to start sounding the same. But I like it. I like the characteristics and I like the way that the sample sounds. I want something similar. Now, this is where the AI technology comes in, and it is an absolutely brilliant, selling, amazing, just ingenious feature of Loopcloud. If you come over to your sample, you'll see here it says match. If you right click on this little circle, you have find harmonic matches, find rhythmic matches, and find similar sounds. So in this instance, I'm going to find a similar sound. Click on find similar sounds, and we can see now that we have a whole list of different sounds. But maybe you might want to use this as well if you want to find a similar sound to a sample or a file already existing in your project and you want something to work together with what you already have. It's a brilliant feature. You just right click and you can go find rhythmic matches, so you can maintain the groove and the rhythm inside your track. And then here you have a whole drop down list of all of these samples with the same rhythmic match. You'll also see down the bottom here that we have our original sample and we have the sample that we're auditioning. And you'll see here that we have track 1, track 2, track 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you could start to play your samples alongside each other. So these samples are sounding really nice. They're playing alongside each other inside the Loopcloud plugin before I've even purchased them. Now, another feature of the Loopcloud plugin is the ability to edit, add patterns, and also shape your sounds before you commit to buying and importing into your DAW. If you come back into this window here, the first thing we can do is we can mix the sounds together a little bit more. If you come down to the track, you'll see this appear and you can start to drag up and down and you can change the volume of your track. So now I've mixed those tracks together a little bit more. They're sounding a bit more cohesive. I'm liking the vibe. What I want to do is I want to add some effects and texture in there because this is a lot of rhythmic stuff going on at the moment. Come over to track 5, and what we're going to do is we're going to find a one shot. All right, so here we have some samples that match with our project. Let's play them. Cool, I really like that. That's cool. At the moment, it exists at 1.4. We can drag it so we could have it as a feature at the end of our 4-bar phrase. So let's play it now. We can also increase the frequency as to how many times this particular feature appears. So if you drag on the left side, hold down on Control on a PC, have to check, and you drag it and you can drop it here. So now it appears twice. Let's drag it here. Now we could also change this into a pattern. So if you come to patterns here, we could go on to, let's say, hats and shakers, dub shuffle. No, nothing's appearing there. You kind of have to search through to find when this sample appears. You could also drag out the slider here so you can increase the amount of time that it takes for the playhead to cycle through the sample. So maybe you don't want it to play every few bars. Maybe you want it to just appear every 8 bars or 9 bars as we have here. I really like that. That definitely works. So now we have this in our sample track slot. We're going to use the edit functions and the tools. So let's go to patterns and let's go to 16th note accente. We can also change the volume of each of these individual hits so they don't all have to be the same. So I could drag this one down, drag this down. So we're starting to really edit inside of the Loopcloud plugin itself. Now you also have the option to add effects to your samples. So you come to the tools here, effects edit. So on this particular track, let's just select it, effects edit. And now you can add your own effects. Click on add effect and we could go on to grain stretch. To drag and drop your samples into your project, you just click on the sample that you would like to buy. You click on buy, and once you've purchased it, you can drag to export, drag and drop into your project. And lastly, I want to show you something that I haven't actually done myself yet, so we'll be doing this together, and that's importing your own samples into the Loopcloud library, tagging them, not storing them. Although you can store them in the cloud storage if you want an additional backup of your samples, but I'm just going to show you how you can do the tagging. So we're doing this together. Come into Loopcloud and you go to the top right and you go add samples, and then you look for, sorry about the red discs, but you look for your samples. So mine's in music production, plugins, effects, and samples. And let's go to samples and effects. And let's just go here. Let's go with the kicks first. Select folder. Do you want to copy kicks to cloud storage? No, I don't want to copy them to the cloud storage. And here we are. Here's my kicks that are on my hard drive. And you know that they're on your hard drive because the folder is a different color. It shows you that it is a local file on your computer. And now you'll see that Loopcloud, the AI technology, has analyzed the files. It's told you that it's a kick drum. It's told you what format it is, and it's told you that it's a one shot. Now, one thing that I can start to do with these kick drums is I can start to add my own tags to them. So when I'm searching for files in my own folders, this is a quicker way to find exactly what I want, especially if I want to make my own tags like my favorites, for example. I'm going to come onto the top kick drum, right click on it and edit tags. And you can see that the current tags that exist now are one shot, WAV and kick. But if I wanted to add my own tag, I just come to the tag manager here and I right click on the particular folder and I create a tag. And now I can name my tag as, say, drum and bass, and I can give the tag a color and I press save. And now in the drop down menu, this is my tag and I'm going to set that on this sample. You can also tag multiple samples. If you hold down on shift, you can now click on drum and bass and click set, and it will set all of the samples with that particular tag. Also in this search bar here, if you wanted to type in, you can see that we have a drop-down menu that appears. So instead of using this tag manager menu drop-down list here, you could just quickly access your tags by typing them into the search function. And that is the ingenious, it is insane, it's so good, Loopcloud plugin. I love it. I shout about it on my Twitch streams. I think it has got some brilliant features that not only help you make music faster, but it also, especially for me, has made my music sound better. I know, it's crazy, but all of that AI technology where everything just seems to seamlessly match and work with other samples, it's just made my music sound more cohesive and better, which is great. Fully recommend that you check it out. Check out the link in the description to get your copy of Loopcloud. And also don't forget that the pre-sale for my Ableton Live course is about to end. So get it before it goes on to general sale, as you are going to save yourself a huge amount on the course. Check that out in the description. I'm Becky Saif. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel. It will help me immensely getting this content out to more and more people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you for another video. Bye.